Hello, and welcome to the Global Movement Network 45-minute session. My name is James Weichert, and I'm the project manager of Global Movement, a committed group of individuals supporting business school curriculum transformation around the world. In this session, you will hear from deans, professors, and students, all working towards a regenerative, sustainable, and flourishing future. Let us begin.
Thank you. So, hello everybody. My name is Morgan Fritz. I'm associate professor at Excelia Business School, and I work as a teacher and researcher in sustainable supply chain management mainly. So I'm based in France, in La Rochelle, and I've spent now 10 years working on sustainable supply chain management, if I include my PhD research time in that.
Hello, I'm Luis F. Dumlao. I'm the Dean of the John Gokongwei School of Management of Ateneo de Manila University, and I'm an economist, but I'm an economist that is pro-sustainability.
Hello everybody, I am Raquel Cementino Olpo. I am a faculty under the Leadership and Strategy Department of the John Gokongwei School of Management at Ateneo de Manila University. I am currently the Program Director for the MS in Sustainability Management Program.
Hello, my name is Luis Rodriguez. I am Associate Professor of Finance at ITESO, the Jesuit University of Guadalajara in Mexico. I am with the Jesuit Business School initiative, and particularly leading the team that is working on towards a new way to teach finance.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anjali. I just graduated from Fordham University, and my major was finance. Before that, I interned with IKEA as a machine learning intern. I have 3 years of experience with research, economics, and development finance.
My name is John Epker. I'm a junior finance major at the Gabelli School of Business, and I'm minoring in sustainable business. I've done a lot of curriculum in sustainable business, from supply chain to operations. I've also worked in sustainable consulting before, and I'm currently working with Global Movement, and I've been a teaching assistant for Professor Stoner in sustainable management for the last year.
Hi, I'm Jim Stoner. I'm delighted to be here. I'm at Fordham University, although technically I'm retired. I'm a professor emeritus. And this project is something I've worked on for well over 10 years. And it's the most important thing I'm doing right now. And I just love the work we're doing together.
Thank you.
I'm Ariane Sane. I started my career I studied art history and worked in the industry for a few decades. And then I was advisor to students in master's programs at Fordham Gabelli School of Business. And now I work with different students, still in an advisory capacity in different programs. And I'm very interested in the students' transition from school to career.
Why are you optimistic concerning core curriculum change and the work that we're doing at Global Movement Network?
I am optimistic about core curriculum change, mainly because it's one large step in recognizing that the world is continually changing, that the business world is changing, and that the facts and the circumstances may shift from moment to moment. And the students that are coming in, if they're learning information that is decades old, will not be prepared for a bright future. So it also strengthens critical thinking skills and allows people to compare what was and what is, and also see progress, and be able to also innovate and come up with new ways of doing things as they see the world changing.
Yeah, I would say I'm optimistic because both businesses and students are making it necessary to learn the material presented to them in these core curriculum classes. And I feel that universities are going to feel pushed on from both sides to make the necessary changes in order for the students to be better prepared for the world they leave after college.
You know, I mean, many of us, I am being aware about climate change from some time. You know, doing all the what you may consider the right stuff. Having a solar powered water heater, or maybe having electricity saving appliances, or that kind of stuff. I mean, minimizing your carbon footprint. I mean, as it may be the actions that we all do. However, I think that that's not enough. I mean, I think that this problem we have on climate change, but not only on climate change and on environmental sustainability, but also into the society. You know, the human being, the quality of life we have. uh, uh, what you do individually is not enough. I mean, you need to start thinking into society, into groups, into participating in initiatives that help you to compound, if I may say that, compounded your efforts, not only as an individual, but as a group, as a part of society. So I think that if we communicate this through business schools, we have very good students. I mean, they are young. Most of them are aware of climate change, and they want to do things different. But we need to give them the tools for making that desire into something real in society. Because we don't want them to become business as usual leaders, but those kind of the kind of inspired leaders that they can also inspire others and make a real change in the way business is conducted in the world.
I'm optimistic, and above all, I'm passionate about that. So I would not be able to teach or do research on a topic that has nothing to do with sustainability. I think that's really urgent to communicate more about it and to raise awareness of everybody on this topic, so that everyone is able to identify the ways they can become a change agent and contribute to a more sustainable future. So that's why I'm optimistic and engaged in this field.
We see it, we see ourselves as a steward of this home that is planet Earth. And for the most part, uh, planet Earth is run by capitalism, and capitalism runs through business schools. And as a stewards, I think it is our responsibility to be part of it. And uh, it's really not a choice, but it's really us being stewards of our planet.
I'll tell you why I'm optimistic about what business schools can do and why I feel good about the focus. But let me back off a little bit and say that both our initiative and all the other initiatives need to come out of many, many different places and have many, many different versions. We're emphasizing the core courses in business schools because we think that's where there's an incredible opportunity. But we recognize that there's a lot of different approaches to what we need to deal with, and that there are many different ways. We may even be wrong. We maybe transforming core courses, which is our particular emphasis, maybe that's not the right way to go or the best way to go. So we're humble about what we're saying, but we are committed, and we think we're right. Otherwise, we'd change our mind. Now, why we're optimistic is that right now, to a very large extent, in almost all business schools, with some very important exceptions, we teach finance to maximize shareholder wealth. And we teach in a neoliberal narrative. And if you don't know what neoliberal is, look it up. It's a really important thing for you to understand. That an attitude that government's evil and should be done away with, an attitude that we're wholly independent individuals, not responsible to anyone and not dependent upon anyone for our success. and that our happiness will come out of more and more consumption. So we're little greed machines, which is kind of the assumptions we make in economics, that the whole game is for us to consume more and we'll be happier. That whole mentality that does not fit with thousands of years of wisdom across all religious traditions, all spiritual traditions, all around the world. We know what a good life is. And it's not about more and more consuming and about being selfish and not caring about other people. So we think much too much of an extent, that's what we're teaching in business schools right now. And that marketing is make waste faster and faster for the richer and richer. And that accounting is the only thing we should pay attention to is dollars moving through, or pounds or sterling moving through an organization, and ignoring externalities. All that stuff we're teaching is not helping us. It's really supporting business as usual, and business as usual is destroying the planet. So we're optimistic partly because of the intellectual excitement for professors of doing something dramatically new, rethinking what finance should be, rethinking what marketing should be, really looking at ethics as something way beyond how can we stay within the law and not feel too bad as we destroy the planet. We think that there's enormously exciting things to do intellectually and challenging for academics. We know our students want something very different from what they're getting right now, most of our students, and that they are very supportive of initiatives on our part to try and find out the right stuff to teach. And I guess finally, I would say we're optimistic because almost any faculty member who teaches a core course, and a great many of us teach a core course in marketing or finance or ethics or management, almost any of us can start tomorrow, today, and start teaching it differently. We can experiment and try new things and simply say, I'm not going to teach business as usual. I'm going to reject that the very first day. I'm going to say the purpose of the firm is not to maximize shareholder wealth. It's not that a firm, a business firm, is all about using everybody for one end, which is making money. Customers are a means to an end. Faculty are, executives are a means to an end. The community are a means to an end. And the only end is maximizing profits. That actually business firms are to serve society. That the reason why we have firms, institutions that are productive institutions, is to serve well-being, to create a good life for people. It's not simply about making money. And moving away from that's very exciting.
Well, initially, I was requested by my dean to represent the school. So it was, how to say, an additional responsibility, which I think is also connected to my being program director in sustainability management program. Okay. However, I saw more of the application of sustainability in the research that I am doing with Dr. Asunta Kuyagking. We have been working on the sustainability of social enterprises, and you will actually see down below how it's being applied. So that's what I appreciate more actually, because I see what we've been teaching the students in the classroom are actually the challenges that the social entrepreneurs are undergoing.
I'm involved in Global Movement Network because it's my initiation into the sustainable business world. It was my initial experience that everyone needs. And I did it without getting paid because the people around me ended up being excellent and really expanded my network into places I had no idea it could go. And then beyond that, I think the work I've done has the potential to make significant changes based on what I've already seen being a teaching assistant. I think this can, like, I can also add something to the necessary change, and I feel like I'm a part of it rather than just like watching it from the outside.
Business schools are obviously a very big leverage point, and education is what drives change. Education is what spreads awareness. If people know what to do, if they know what is right, there are way too many good people in the world, and they will take the right call. So I think changing business curriculum, making them aware, and showing people that there are different ways where we can do better is going to make a bigger impact.
It's been a long story in my case. I literally sat at the feet of a man named Amory Lovins of the Rocky Mountain Institute at Big Sur, California, in Esalen. I don't know, 20 years ago, a long time ago. And I really got that we have a big problem. The sustainability, the lack of sustainability is it's an existential threat. Existential means a threat to, it's a big word. And we think about philosophers and existentialists, but an existential threat is a threat to our species' existence. And I believe that that's what we're facing right now with climate change and global unsustainability. And then over some time, I bumped into Hunter Lovins, Amory's ex-wife, and Sue Hart and John Ehrenfeld came to my class. So I got involved with a bunch of folks that really see how important this issue is and have wonderful ideas about what to do about it and how we can move forward. And I just one day decided to teach a seminar called something like Management, Spirituality, and Global Sustainability. And it may have been a little bit different from that, the first title, a long time ago, right about the time that Al Gore won the Nobel Prize for his work in sustainability. And I guess I've always cared about future generations. Long before I had children, I always thought that we had an obligation to the future and that we could live our lives best if we committed to that obligation. So for me, this came pretty naturally. It came in a wonderful, wonderful place called Esalen in Big Sur, California, when I first started waking up and reading Hawkins, Lovins and Lovins' book on natural capitalism. But it felt very comfortable for me.
I can see effects. For instance, I changed the content of a syllabus on the digitalization of supply chain. Before, there was no sustainability content in this lecture, and I integrated that. And I think it's really welcome by students because they don't want us to close our eyes and teach the business as usual. They really want us to teach what is business today and to take into account the current challenges, and sustainability is part of it. So when we discuss that, most of them have their own opinion, and they like to discuss it and to open their eyes into what they can do today, what they can do as in the future as manager, and to see that there are solutions and that they can contribute to a more sustainable world.
Thank you. Thank you. And Anjali, I guess I'd hand that over to you. I'm very curious as why you're personally involved in this, and also from your position as a graduated student, how you see the importance of this.
Okay, that's a deep question. First, I feel from a human perspective, we all strive for a purpose in life. And having the global movement network, the value system it has, it's something that coincides with me, and I feel good about myself. I feel I'm working towards a purpose. I don't know the end result. I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, but I know it is something positive and I'm contributing in some way. And that is enriching for me personally. On the second thought, I will take it from a student perspective. Being a student, obviously, I have read a lot of UN reports. I was interested. I kept pushing to read more stuff related to, how to change, how to tackle climate change, ESG related things. I am aware, but still, after reading all that, I do not know where I can go, how to act on it. I do not know. I feel this is a good step. for the coming students. If they know what to do, then the next stage will connect and all the dots will connect, and the recruitment process and the companies will have position in line with what is taught in business schools. And that is ultimately going to change the world for better. So I see it as a whole vicious cycle right now, and we can make one change in one particular aspect of it, and it will all connect to a better world.
Thank you very much.
I think students, since, this generation, particularly the new generation that is hitting schools now, they have been aware of these kind of issues from early age. Many of them know about sustainability. Many of them know about the circular economy and all those movements, and they know, and they are big on recycling, the kids now. And I think that they are particularly sensitive to these issues. And I think that the students are not so vocal into saying that they need more sustainability, but I think they are kind of disappointed when they find a business as usual teacher. They may not be vocal, or I don't know, maybe my students are not so vocal on that, but I think they deeply, they feel some kind of disappointed not to find that kind of warm welcome to the ideas or new ideas into the business. So that's I think that one of the hungers the students have now.
Okay. The first hat as the program director for MS in Sustainability Management, we actually have a lot of interested applicants who, even outside of the Philippines, who'd like to take the course. So just for this coming school year, I think I have around 15 people. I have one from Thailand and another one from Sri Lanka who's actually interested with the course. Okay, so it seems like people see the value of it. And in the local setting, I also received an application from a vice president of a bank, which I said, based on your qualifications, I think you are more aligned to our PhD in leadership. But she said no because I am assuming it's her new position, sustainability. Okay. And the second hat would be from the perspective of a faculty. So for the undergraduate students, we actually have a group of students we call management engineering students who really are interested in sustainability, and that's what their core value is in their organization. So they actually have been helping a lot in pushing for sustainability initiatives in school. Okay. And this year, last semester, the second semester, ending this week, we already started our course in sustainability for the undergraduate. So technically, there's also the need to address the curriculum based on also our Commission on Higher Education guidelines.
We're getting there very slowly, and I think the reason it's coming way down to the young people is even the grade school curriculum has changed over the past 10 years. As early as just 10 years ago, the planet is supposed to be a gift from God that we are to use. Now we have a different paradigm. Our planet now is our home. Yes, it is a gift, but it is not really a gift, but it's something lent out to us. And if it is lent out to us, it's totally different. That means we have to take care of it. We have to be stewards of it for the future generation. So slow by little, it's coming in. Even what's happened in the grade school curriculum is going up, and right now it's trickling up to the college level. And up to the college level, they are the ones who have the hunger to study more about sustainability.
Aim to Flourish, just right now as I'm speaking, is announcing some winners of the competition they have for the SDGs. That student teams are doing terrifically exciting things to serve society. That the SDGs, are being used throughout many, many curricula. Almost every school, I think, is paying some attention, starting to pay some attention to them. So there's a lot, the Jesuits have a fascinating initiative to create core courses and develop textbooks that are fully aligned with the need for a sustainable, flourishing, regenerating world. So there's a lot of support for faculty members to strike out and do something on their own. And anybody can do that tomorrow. Basically, you just say to your dean, I want to teach about the 21st century. Is that okay? I don't want to teach about the 20th, the 19th century. I'll talk about now and the future. So we find the people we're working with are full of energy, are excited. They know they're doing risky, bold, scary things in many ways. It's scary to take on a brand new syllabus. It takes us out of our comfort zone. But man, is it fun to do that. And the people we're involved in, the faculty members, the administrators, the students involved in our own project and other projects are just a delight to be with because we're doing something that really matters, we think. And we're doing the best we can.
Why are you involved in Global Movement Network?
I'm involved because it's an opportunity to create something new and to transform the way things are being done. I think we do a lot of things that we don't question and we don't reassess to see if they're being done optimally, if they can be done better, whether they're good for our future or not. And it's sometimes at times difficult going against a system that's been working for many decades a certain way. But if we don't do that, then we continue the same way. So part of it is taking a step to recognize that we do need to look at it. The outcomes we want aren't happening, and what can we do to change the results and the outcomes that we want? And that's very satisfying.
I think I don't want to flatter myself, but I think it's just a personal matter that we have to take care of our planet. But even more so with my position as dean of a school of about 3,000 students, and the mere fact that I embrace it, I pray and I hope that students follow me as an example, that they too, and they are the future leaders of the country, even the future leaders of corporate of corporations worldwide, that it is important that they embrace it, and hopefully what they see in me is something that they appreciate, and I hope something that they follow suit.
So I've been learning about it. I communicated about it, and I'm finding kind spirits, people like me that doing that, and it's amazing. This is great. It's being part of a network of people that is teaching and working towards these aspects. But not only teaching, I wish that it's at some point this is so mainstream that we don't need to talk about it. The issue here, there's an interesting issue here. If you have to name it, you are separating it from it. You are discriminating it from it. If you call finance and social finance, you are talking about the good and the bad guys. The good guys are us, generally, the good financiers, and the bad ones are the other guys. They're evil, they're bad. So if we have this narrative, we're never going to go advance. What we need to do is to these ideas, they're really easy to understand ideas about sustainability, and we can translate it to the mainstream, to what we teach in the universities, to what the managers, the financial managers or general managers or CEOs do. I mean, we're already there. So the goal for me would be that You just say finance. This is finance. And finance is social by definition. Finance is sustainable by definition. You know, that would be a great place to be.
Well, it's true, it's an investment in time, but this investment is being recognized by my colleagues, by my school, and they think just like me that it's important to lead such to be part of such movements. And yeah, my personal reason is just to spread the words and to motivate, stimulate more people to join this initiative, or in general to think, especially teachers, to think about the way they teach, how they teach, and how they can integrate the notion of sustainability in their lectures, so that we create a kind of snowball effect, and that we can reach more people, because alone I cannot change much, but if I can inspire many colleagues and other people to do the same, then the impact is becoming huge.
A lot of exciting things have been happening at Fordham, actually. And one of them related to the Jesuit initiative for a new paradigm for business education is a course in economics that was led by Tony Arnett and Jeff Sachs, that two of us from globalmovement.net joined, and some other folks joined, that basically dealt with the kind of economics we need to teach for the 21st century, and not what we've been teaching. It's much more relevant for a world that never existed and a couple of centuries ago. And it's an outstanding course, and we're doing whatever we can to make it available to people. It'll be revised, and it's one of a whole series of courses that are being developed out of this network of Jesuit business schools that are aligning what they teach, as we've been working for, with the need for a sustainable, flourishing, regenerating world. Very exciting time for us to be involved in.
I thought what was so interesting about it was they were actually creating the curriculum. They had pulled together reading material, and out of this first class, they will write a book, which will then be used in subsequent teaching of the course. But is this a model for future curriculum change? Is this one way to do it? Just do it?
For me, it's exactly the right model. Just do it. To take the core course and start teaching it to be aligned with a sustainable world. And as you do that, start creating articles that you publish, and start working on textbooks, and maybe with a whole bunch of people involved, and put it out there, and don't expect it to be perfect. Just move it forward. Just do it. Very consistent with the Theory U, Theory X, ULab 2X program we were involved in. A rapid prototyping. Just get it out there and start improving it. Don't sit on it. Don't wait to make it perfect.
And interestingly, it was well attended by students. There were, I think it was a full class of students that took that first class, that first prototype of a class.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is one thing that I believe also we need to understand, because during 19th century and 20th century, the 20th century and 19th century, most of the development in economics was optimization, making things. There was a equivalence between rationality and optimization. If you what that means, that the smart thing to do was optimize. Use all these mathematical tools, simple or complex, to get the best resource, the best result for your company, for your life, for your money, and more was better. More is better. Is what they teach you, and that's the rational thing. The rational thinking. That's rational thinking is the more the better. I don't have any satisfaction. I always look for more, and the more is better, and we need to look for the more. Though that way of thinking during I know what was created in the 19th, 20th century. I mean, it was from the creation to the development to the introduction to mathematics into all of that. That's what we have modern economics, or what was called 10 years ago maybe modern economics. So and that helped the world. I think yes, it helped in some way. We have now the longest life expectancy in history. We have less poverty. We have a more affluent societies in general. In general, I mean, I'm not saying things are good or okay. If that was the case, we weren't talking about it. Okay. However, there are two other aspects that were neglected. The world, I mean, the nature, you know, you know, as you call the finite planet, the finite resources we have. If all of us continue to look in that model of thinking with and try to make all the humanity rich in the way we have been developing, there's going to be world. There's not going to be nature. There's going to be planet that sustain that. So we need to think, start to change and start thinking, okay, you want to optimize? Yes, but consider the planet. What's best for the planet, not what's best for you individually, but what's best for the planet. And the other thing that was neglected is people. The clients you serve, the people that works at your company, and the people that is affected, the stakeholder that is affected by your decisions as a company or as a business. You know, the people that lives near your factories, the people that gets the pollution of for your activity or whatever else. So I think that I think that is the difficult balancing act that we need to do. I mean, this is a very difficult thing to do. We have to still trying to give the best, and I'm not saying profits. I saying the best economic value possible from the human activity. But at the same time, we need to care for the environment, and we need to care for the people. So this is difficult. I mean, that's difficult because if we say, oh no, we don't want economic value, that's theories that all of them were wrong. They are the bad guys, we are the good guys. So we're risking on some human development that is not all bad. You know, not all. I mean, you cannot say all of that is bad. Let's throw it away. There is some very bad stuff. It has reached some levels that we don't want to see. We don't want to see people in finance getting rich, abusing their knowledge or whatever, to the damaging the savings on other people or all that kind. We don't want to see that. But also, we want, or at least I think that we want to see even the small companies, even the small non-profit companies, looking for the best way to finance, looking for the best way to look for the best impact on, even if not, if you are a non-profit and you are a well-funded company, you need to see where the resources you're going to apply is going to make the highest impact. Try to solve the problem. So there are some tools there developed on all these years, all these couple centuries, that need to be reassessed. But I think that we cannot just erase it and say, hey man, let's cancel that and we start again. I mean, I think that, and that's one of the risks we are having. You know, I have heard that so much in the last couple of years, but I don't think canceling the other human being is a solution. You know, I think we need to work together into that, and make it that these three ways make some sense.
If somebody's in faculty and they're just starting out, how would they get involved? What would be a way for them to start?
Well, there's lots of ways they can do it. There's schools. They can join us. We're moving forward and adjusting what we're doing. We have some deans that are committed with a very simple commitment. commitment is to encourage and support the transformation of the curriculum. And individuals at their own schools, without their dean's support, can be what we're starting to call sustainability champions, or that may not be the right term for what we're talking about, but they're individual administrators or faculty or students who simply will commit to encouraging and supporting the transformation of the business curriculum and some of the research to be fully aligned with the need for a sustainable world. And so a faculty member can join us. We'd love to have all the help we can get. We'll be putting together a 2022 application to the MacArthur Foundation. We're building on the 216 and 219 applications, 2016, 2019, to transform business curriculum and to be fully aligned, not just for the sake of transformation, but for a real purpose. The purpose is that we teach in ways that will create a sustainable, flourishing, regenerating world. And independent of us, any faculty member can simply say, I'm going to experiment. I'm going to try and do something new. I'm going to start doing my research focused on sustainability, and I'm going to start teaching my courses. Now, let me say that there are many faculty members who have done a super job of teaching upper level courses on sustainability, the sustainable case for marketing, the sustainable case for finance. My colleague Frank Werner has taught for over a decade an advanced course on finance for sustainability. And those are great. They're important to do. We learn skills, we help our students, but basically the business case for sustainability is how to make more money by doing less harm. And we can't get there. We simply have to get away from a commitment that the only purpose of the firm is to maximize shareholder wealth. And so anybody can start teaching what we think is the leverage point, the core courses. And let me say one more thing about why we think the core courses are the key leverage point. In business curriculum right now, in most schools, with some important exceptions, the curriculum is about maximizing shareholder wealth. In every single course, it's consistent with that. We accept that that's the purpose of the firm. We don't say it explicitly, maybe in management. We may not talk about it very much in economics, but we basically accept that that's the purpose of the firm. And when we do that, we lay down the bricks and mortar of the foundation of business as usual. We lay down in our students the mindset of business as usual. I can't remember the name of at the moment of the person who eventually went to jail for his illegal other activities, but took a desperately needed drug and increased the price of that drug by 1,000% or something like that. And argued very publicly that he had a moral responsibility to maximize, by the way, his own wealth, but also the shareholder wealth, by jacking up the price of a critically needed drug. So he's basically saying, I have a moral responsibility to kill people for shareholders and for my own profit. A moral responsibility to kill people. That's how bad it got. And I don't know any finance professor yet who's told me how what he did was inconsistent with what they teach in finance. He basically was maximizing shareholder wealth. And that was all that mattered. Death didn't matter to him. So I think it was the ultimate statement of what we teach in finance, the ultimate correct behavior that we taught people.
Thank you for spending these 45 minutes with us. If you are interested in learning more, please join us at www.globalmovement.net. Thank you.